Alright, shalom, shalom. It's Brother Kashakwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Achakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Red Millstone, rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. Get a classic script right here. Matthew 12 and 25. It says, and Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts. It says, Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. All right. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? The reason why I want to bring out this lesson, this article right here, where Esper effectively bans Confederate flags from bases. Okay, of course, Esau, he plays chess too, but not as good as Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and all his moves are dictated by the Lord anyway, which Esau's a proud man and thinks he makes his own move. But we know the scriptures, according to the scripts, no one makes their own moves. Okay, no heathens, no Israelite, no one makes their own moves. Proverbs 16:1 can back that. The preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All right, and one more script that can back that as well, going into prophecy. All right, is Revelation 7:1. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on them. Salakia, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Right. Meaning, these angels are manipulating the minds of these heathens who are in a quote-unquote power seat. Okay, who have the power to press the red button, put the key in the switch, flip it, and press that red button. Okay, they're manipulating their minds, so no one has their own control of their own thoughts and things that they're going to do. Again, the preparations of the preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue coming from the Lord. All right, and I'm gonna get one more script if I'm going to the right one. Yep, it says the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, as you can see right here, he just looks like a prideful individual. And we're gonna read. I read this article, and this dude is prideful because guess what? He bucked up against his own quote-unquote leader, which is Trump. So you can see the pride on his countenance. It says, and he's a wicked individual. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. Correct? Of course, these Edomites are not seeking after the Most High. They don't understand what it's talking about in the book of Matthew, where it tells us to store up our treasures in heaven. All right. It says the Most High is not in all his thoughts. Right. He does not consider the higher power. Now, I'm not contradicting or anything. Still, the Lord manipulates these individuals' mind because the will at hand is going to be done. Okay? So, with that being said, let me go back to Matthew. It says, and Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. All right, so let's read a little bit of this. It says, Esper, him, this cracker, effectively bans Confederate flags from bases. Now, they're making moves just on the reaction of America and how things are going, especially after the death of George Floyd, all right, when he was killed by the cop, which kind of riled Jake up and started, riots and things of that nature, looting. And then also, what did it cause for people? Yeah, I'm going to say people, not just black people, because all this Black Lives Matter is really comprised of a lot of white people in there, okay? So people went to certain statues and monuments and tore those things down. So, of course, he's going to make a move to further on, the quote-unquote movement and further on the division in America, because ultimately that's really what Esau wants, all right? It says Defense Secretary rejects uh, decisive symbols, meaning a dividing type signal or whatever symbol in America on the military installations. And what's more American than the military? Okay? So it says Defense Secretary Mark Esper, this guy, effectively banned displays of the Confederate flag on U.S. military installations. Right. So let's just skip down. All right. It says the memo did not explicitly mention Confederate banners, but stated that the flags we fly must accord with the military imperatives of good order and discipline, treating all our people with dignity and respect, in rejecting the decisive symbols. All right. You see, Esau uses big, lengthy, whatever words, not even too big, but pretty much he's furthering on the deep cut that America has been gouged with this racial injustice and this, of course, this coronavirus stuff that is escalating in this place, causing a heavy division. Okay, now we know for a fact defense secretaries are under who? They're under who? Okay, defense secretaries are definitely under the president. When you read this article, it says the president was highly considering going ahead and firing the defense secretary because he was not in line with this idea. So going right here, it says the policy was issued after a tense period between Trump and Esper following the president's threat to invoke Insurrection Act, which means what? Taking these troops into these cities that are quote unquote acting up. It says to deploy active duty military forces to quell unrest prompted by Floyd's death. Right, because after Floyd's death, people went crazy in the streets. All right. It says, and Trump considered firing his defense secretary, administration official said. Right, he considered firing this Esper dude because Esper himself was causing division within his own, within Trump's own campaign or company. Okay, you can't even heathens have a sense of, if I can't agree with you, I can't work with you. In this case, Trump, I don't agree with you, so I'm going to use my power that was invested in me, quote unquote, and execute authority over you by considering to fire your ass and put someone in there who would do what I want. The thing what Trump does, he puts people in office who are loyal to him, okay? And loyal to him only, okay? All right? Not loyal to America, the Constitution, and the flag, but loyal to him, okay? That's what he does. That's something that's what's called a totalitarian or a dictatorship, when you have individuals who are loyal to you and not the actual state, okay? So pretty much the Marine Corps, all right, was the first pretty much military installations to quote unquote ban the Confederate flag. Now, niggas are going to eat this shit up, all right, and be like, yeah, ban that because that's racist, okay? And I'm not backing the Confederate flag up or anything, but just do a little simple research on that flag, all right? That flag did not, because a lot of Jake say that flag represents slavery. That flag necessarily didn't represent slavery. That flag, and I'm not backing Esau, okay? Because at the end of the day, everything that he did was wicked, okay? Real talk, when you just look at the symbolism of this flag in the first place, it's an X with the stars and stripes. They call it a stars and bars, okay? That's what they called it when they first created it, all right? The ones who really took off and ran with this was Robert E. Lee's company. All right, I'm gonna put this, Lord willing, this history of this flag, because I read this too. There's some good stuff in there. The history of this flag. I'm gonna put this in the description below. But this was a stars and bars, is what it was called. Okay, and the one who ran off with this was the Robert E. Lee Company, of course, of the Confederate States. Now, we always, at the base of a knowledge of the Civil War is Confederacy versus the Union. The Confederacy wasn't always a Confederate, okay? Texas may not have agreed with Florida. Florida may have not agreed with Georgia. Georgia may have not agreed with Arkansas. Arkansas may not have agreed with Alabama. There were divisions within the Confederate, quote unquote, states, okay? They were trying to find something to bond each other and come to an equal means of why we are fighting this war, okay? So pretty much this flag started coming about in 1861, but it was more so for the soldiers. It was called a battle flag, okay? That's why when you see here, it says Confederate battle flag. It's not a representation of slavery, okay? It's a representation of a battle of soldiers, okay? That's what it was for, okay? A battle flag. Just like if you watch, medieval time type movies, they had a flag that they went into with. It was a battle flag, okay? That's simple, representing their quote unquote country. All right, it was the same thing that this was. They didn't in 1861. They weren't make this flag. What? Think about this. What Edomite would give a shit about a goddamn nigga to make a flag representing him? They didn't give a shit about these niggas on the plantation. They didn't care. All right? There's more so in the sense of being separate from the Union. That's why I brought out Matthew 12 and 25 and 26. It says, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. These flags were representation of being separate from the Union. They needed a distinguishing factor to show that they are not with the Union. Instead, they are your own Confederate states or a Confederate government. All right, nothing to do with the Confederate flag is racism and is against black people. No, it's really against the America. Okay, that's one real reason that. Of course, he's probably doing it in a more of a light. Epser is probably doing it in a light of supporting the black movement and shit, quote unquote. Trying to make himself look good or whatever. I don't know, but Edomite's intents are all wicked anyway. But the Confederate flag is actually a stab at the United States flag, okay? Because that flag was made to represent a different state than the Union, all right? Didn't want to be a part of it. It's a battle flag. It represents the soldiers, and it represented their fallen soldiers as well, all right? So Lord willing, I'm going to put this in there. But it still shows the division that Esau had between each other, okay? It says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself, right? He's divided against himself. Let's see if we can get that word divided real quick. All right, so the word divided is marizo in the Greek, and it means to divide, to separate into parts, to cut into pieces. Exactly, that's why you have that statue in Daniel, the second chapter, in the feet. It was divided, things that can't mix well together. That's why that rock came down and destroyed it, because it was already into certain pieces. Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, where it says we would have healed it with balm, okay? But it's not fully healed. It's still a wound that's kind of open, all right? It's a monument that's not fully built, okay? It's divided. It's in pieces, all right? Divided into parties, all right? What do we have? Republican, Democrat, liberal, whatever the fuck you want to call it, okay? You got different sects and cliques within America, all right? You have be split into factions, okay? Another form of being split into factions, white people, black people, Chinese people, Native American. Whenever you fill out an application, that's a form of division and separation. Okay, to distribute. All right, a thing among people, bestow and impart. All right, it says it to be difference between. Right, this place is different between a lot of things within itself. Therefore, what's coming after that division, like Yahushua said, that destruction. All right, it shall be brought to desolation. All right, let's see if we can get that word desolation. And that is Eradmo. Eradmo, if I'm saying that right. Let's see what Esau says.
Strong's G 2048. Eremao.
Okay.
Eremao.
Eremao. And it says to make desolate, lay waste, to ruin, bring to desolation. And certain little things, little nicks and kidney shots like this, what Esper is doing is bringing this place closer to it laying waste and being completely desolate. The division in America is at an all-time high, and there's no repairing it, okay? It's going to continue to divide until it's divided into nothing, to its lowest state, all right? And the lowest state is when the missiles come. So, Lord willing, this was edifying, giving some edification on, a brief edification on the history of this Confederate flag. Again, I'm not backing that bullshit, but it's just facts, okay? And Lord willing, I'm going to put these links in the description below. So with that, I'm going to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Machapadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. This is Brother Kasha Qual. Until the next time, I want to say shalom.